The plate we use is hands hold so we keep the foods real clean when we pass around. All right, now watch up here with me. Let's do this. Let's get our chicken out. Did you burn it? She cooks at school, so we're going to depend on her. I hope you didn't burn it too, honey. Let's see what kind of job she did. Now at home, you cannot cook it any healthier than I did here today. They haven't invented a way. You know, at home you also have to use rubber wooden spatulas, stainless. You can use stainless steel. But after cooking with no grease or oil, let's say we don't use that spatula. Let's say we take that out of the fork, shall we? So I have a fried potato with absolutely no grease or oil. How's that? You see how it has the crispy stuff on there we all love? Now here's our other one. Look at this baby, wait. Look at that. Now watch this. If you want a fried potato, you got it. If you want a baked potato, you got it. How about a mashed potato? Look at that. See how nice and fluffy that is? Ain't all dried out? Now folks, if you was going to cut or cook a baked potato like that at home in an oven, how long would it take, cooks? An hour? Hot kitchen? 400-degree oven? And how much energy would that use in that amount of time versus this in 15 minutes on your deck on a hot summer day? By the way, we save you a lot of energy at home, and we also help you cook better and healthier. Look at here. You see the sign where it says green? You know we're the only certified green manufacturer of cookware in this country. We're so proud of that. We take care of our environment. At the same time, we help you save energy. You want to know a little fact? The water that comes in our plant from the city is actually dirtier than the water that goes out. That's how green we are with that cookware. All right, now let's see how we did with our fried chicken. Now my little chef right over here, she did a wonderful job because she's a little shy too. So on the count of 3, let's give her a ooh, ah, show her what she did on that chicken, right? So 1, 2, 3, ooh, ah. Now we could have browned it like that on both sides at home. I do because I like it crispy on both sides. Here I didn't because I want to show you don't have to mess with it. Now here's something you're going to like. Who does the dishes? You ready for this? This thing goes right in the dishwasher. It is dishwasher safe. The whole thing, including those elements, is fully submersible into a dishpan. Please tell me, cooks, when's the last time you seen an appliance do that? Now I don't have a dishpan back here big enough, and I certainly don't have a dishwasher. I'm going to put a little water in there. I'm going to clean it with a paper towel. Now folks, if you don't have waterless cookware, don't try that at home. You put cool water in a hot pan at home, you're going to warp it, and it will not hurt this cookware. Do you have one of these too, ma'am? Do you got one of these? No? Oh man, well we'll fix that today. Alright, now let me tell you a funny story. There was a senior lady at my show one time. She came in and she said, do you take credit cards? I said, oh yes ma'am. Cash, check, credit cards, even interest-free layaway. How can I help you? She said, I'm here for my kiddos. I want that whole set. I said, the whole set, ma'am? She said, the whole set. I said, ma'am, do you mind if I ask how old you are? And she said, son, I'm proud to say I'm 84. What difference does that make? I says, well, ma'am, it's just that 84. I don't know if you need that whole set of cookware. You know, we do sell smaller sets. You can buy them individually. She said, son, you're cute and everything, but you eat real sharp, are you? She said, at 84, I don't have to need that whole set of cookware. At 84, I deserve it. So she got the whole set. Anyway, I noticed her husband wasn't with her. I said, all right, ma'am, now, let's be honest. This stuff's not cheap. You know that. It's an investment. Are you sure you don't want to talk to your husband about it? She says, son, all these years I watched my husband go to home shows and gun shows and boat shows, all these different shows, buying pretty much whatever he wanted to, and I learned one really important lesson through that whole thing. I said, really, ma'am, I'm intrigued. What was the lesson? She said, the lesson is this, son. Forgiveness happens to be easier to get than permission ever was. She's a pretty sharp old girl. All right. Shouldn't have taught him that, should I, fellas? Okay, now, that's cooked all the way through. See that? Okay, now let's do this. We got a toothpick holder. I have 2 rules. The first one is pretty common sense. You parents know this already, but the little ones, please don't handle the plates, just the adults. The other one, it applies to everybody. Look up here with me now. Would each of you please shake out 3 or 4 toothpicks each out of here? The big rule is no double dipping. Okay, don't use the same toothpick more than once. Fair enough if we do that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start here. We'll go across the front row. Sir, when you get it, you pass it back, and then we'll go across here. I wonder if you can help. What we're going to do for this lady right here, ma'am, is let me pull this chair right out of the way, and you come right up and be part of my show instead of being way out there. How about that? We'll do that. And then come on up, and then, sir, when you get it on the end over there, don't set it on the seat in front of you. It's going to slide off, hit you right in the knees. So if you'll either pass it back up or bring it up or holler at me one way or the other, we'll get it for you. All right, now, let me get a quick drink because I need that to get ahead. Remember, take 3 or 4. Take 3 or 4 each. All right. By the way, I use a chicken breast because isn't it the driest part of the bird? But there is no seasonings and no marinades on any of this food at all, folks. The reason why is I don't want anybody to think there's some secret recipe I have here. You're not going to be able to follow it home. There's absolutely nothing on any of this food. All right, now, let's back in the head there a little bit. Let's get our vegetables out then. All right, now, I need you to be a good sport for me. Would you guys do that? Would you be a good sport? I'm making you say yes before I ask you to tell you what it is. All right, would you try a carrot cooked the old-fashioned way? I know you know what they taste like. I want to see if you can see the difference. See, cooking like this, just an iron now, we've lost half of it. Cooking like this, 2%. See if you can see the difference in textures and flavors. We'll start with this one first, ma'am. And take that one and pass it on down. Now, when you get to this plate, try a carrot first, then try any of the other vegetables you'd like, okay? Whatever you don't eat, when it gets back up there, throw away. Okay, that's the way the health department does it. By the way, these potatoes right here have 1/20th the fat of a French fry. The chicken has 10% of the fat of Kentucky Fried Chicken, and wait till you try it. See what you think. All right. Now, when you get to this plate, if you take your toothpick, go through a potato first, then the chicken, you can want one little kebab, okay? All right. By the way, you notice that grease is still in the back of my hand? Didn't go nowhere, did it? The problem with cooking with greases and oils, folks, it gets into your system, it causes stuff like this. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I bet most of you guys aren't either, but I bet you'd agree with this. Don't you think this is right? Most people think this is what happens to someone else when they get old. It ain't always someone else, is it? We ain't always old. We got to learn to cook without all that grease and oil. All right, now let's get this cleaned up here. By the way, I'll tell you our story. My record with this company is 6 sets. I had a lady buy 6 sets of this cookware from me. She said I raised my whole family on it. She said they grew up, moved to the house, they gained weight, and their cholesterol went up. She said I give them money and they never spend it when I want them to. So she said I fixed their butts. I bought them each a set. Now they got to think of me twice a day when they use it. It does make a good gift, but if you don't have some, I'll tell you who to give it to. Give it to yourself. It'd be the best gift you could give yourself for your health, or your family's health. Every family has a right to be fed healthy, folks. All right, let's get this cleaned up, shall we? While that food is going around, how's the vegetables up here? Fantastic. How's the meat? Was it dried out? Now, what do you think that would taste like at home with your own seasonings? You know, there was nothing on that. Isn't that amazing? Told you it was going to be good, didn't I? All right, now remember that cool water I put in here a little while ago? Watch this. This would be the start to some gravy. Even Grandma would be proud. Look at this. See how that stays steaming? It'll stay steaming like that for up to 30 minutes because that oil core. I'm going to put a little water in there. What do you say we clean this with a paper towel? Okay? I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, you folks that already own this cookware, have you been using Cameo? You can get this at most grocery stores or at Walmart, but it's not by the cleansers. You'll get one along with your sets when you get it, folks. They're about 96 cents, and it's a little polish, and we're going to show you how to clean it with a paper towel. By the way, you know when you buy this cookware, you save money 3 ways. One is you're out of the kitchen. A third to cook at time. You definitely save money on your utility bill. How much is pretty significant. Hey, you remember when we cooked those vegetables? Does anybody remember what temperature the stove was when we put them on? Medium, right? And we did it into a third to half of the cooking time. Thank you very much, sir. So we save energy every single time we cook, huh? How much is really amazing. How many of you folks here in my show cook 1 meal a day at home? How many cook more than 1 meal a day? Wait till you get a load out of this. See, with 1 meal a day, with a meat, a vegetable, and a starch, the first week you own this cookware, you're going to save about $7 on your utility bills. Now that don't sound like much, does it? Don't sit on the seat, ma'am. Don't sit on the seat, please. Yeah, it'll slide right off, okay? As 1 meal a day, you're going to save about $7 on your utility bills. Now that don't sound like much, but over 5 years, did you understand that's $1,800 worth of energy savings alone? Now folks, couldn't we say it this way? The cookware that you have at home, if it's not waterless, over the next 5 years, is going to cost you an extra $1,800. This one will not over the next 5 years. Hey, girls that have had it 46 years, you had yours, and 20 years, guess how much energy you probably saved in cooking without water over the years? Huge amounts, huh? Now the second way you save is on your grocery bills. You eat less foods. The third, and by the way, did you notice the size of that chicken breast when I put it in there and I took it out is about the same? Isn't that something? We didn't lose a lot of it. And the same thing when you cook with a roast, you have a 5-pound roast, you get a 5-pound roast instead of a 3-pounder when you're done. The third way you save is on your, well, you don't replace it. You've had it for 46 years. Have you had to, does it look about that good 46 years later? You know, the thing about it is you never have to replace it. There was a lady in my audience earlier this week, a true story, she had this cookware for 62 years. She said that I bought it when I got married 62 years ago, and she said I paid a lot of money for it. My whole family told me I was crazy. She said 62 years later, I got the last laugh. She said I still own that cookware. It looks as good as yours, and I never replaced one piece in 62 years. Isn't it kind of like